All right, I believe that we're ready. Here we go. Let me just flash the audience real quick to make sure this works. Yes. All right, so there's been a point of contention between myself and BigSpoon, the person directly below me, whether or not the audience should and would like to see rolls. I know there are some people who feel very highly that rolls should be seen. I am in the opposite camp. Yes, my players are against me on this one, more or less. I think that a lot of people purely listen to these kind of works, and I think that an inordinate amount of screen space is given up to rolls. So friends at home, I know that the rollists will come out to defend their champion, the dice gods and the visual arts majors. But I need you to comment on the YouTube video or on Discord, whether you're a rollist, whether you're an anti-rollist, whether you literally don't, if you literally don't care, we still need to hear from you. This is a problem that requires your voices. Only you can guide us through not just this show, but all shows going forward. Who's right? Is it me? Is it everyone else? Is it the children? No, the children must be wrong.
I'm going to give you a bit of a sad dose of reality here, AP, and that is that if we're losing screen space, which is basically us, to make up for the roles, I don't think that we're particularly the selling point. Our faces, I don't know that we're really a dish, that everyone has come to consume is what we look like.
It's the body language and facial expressions in the moments of roleplay that really matter. The moments when you stop playing Total Warhammer 2 and you go, oh, something is happening on screen number 2 that sounds pretty important. Like, this is some rad shit. It turns out that guy Rapier isn't actually Rapier. He's fakier. You remember that moment, Glimo? You remember that moment?
I was there.
You were there.
So anyway, I could be completely wrong. I could be completely wrong. If you are here to simp for the hot chunk of man flesh, which is APGamingREAL, please post in comments.
Jesus. What about all of us here?
So my
I know that the three of you are married, or I can't remember ever if Spoon is married or just basically married.
Common law married.
Common law. Okay, sure.
My takeaway is you don't have an overlay that's bigger faces.
Yeah. All we've done is put the Roll20 thing in the middle, which is just good, by the way.
I didn't make this overlay.
We've got this big,
right?
massive amount of real estate that's almost always a black box, so I'd rather have the rolls there.
I somewhat agree with that, which is the only reason I have allowed for this situation.
Like, if
because
you had
the person who designed this overlay
that was our just our faces but bigger, then I might see your argument more of, okay, we don't need the rolls. The person who designed this overlay,
Glimo, didn't ask for input from me. They just made the overlay and took my money. So,
by the way, while we're on this topic, on stream, your King of the Castle is completely covering up your face.
You can click the King of the Castle box and it should disappear.
It does not disappear. It just gets smaller.
Jesus. All right, fine. I'll go disable it. You guys do some sort of intro talk.
I fixed it on mine.
We are getting dangerously close to the intro hour that wasn't.
We are. So. That's true.
Yeah.
I just need 10 more seconds. On my screen.
There it is. All right, cool. It's gone now.
Welcome to King Arthur Pendragon 5.2, the Great Pendragon campaign.
I'm a dice lord. I like to see rolls. It helped me learn a system that I don't know as well. And
welcome to episode 7.
And a lot of times, if I'm watching a Twitch or YouTube stream, it's to help me learn a system that I don't know as well.
I will buy that, but it has been some time since I did streams to help people learn systems. Now I mostly just do remixes, mixing 2 different wargame and tabletop RPG systems together. I'm sorry, Glimo, I'm washed up. It's like Radasaurus says, my best shows are in the far, far past. We're back with Kendric. Kendric, I was going to say of Pitton, but now he's decided to title himself Kendric de Pitton, Herawd of Laverton and Gwgan of Shrewton. As the three of you, because Spoon has pulled a Uno reverse card and decided to join the King's party, as you are preparing to set out for the embassy to the Duke of Lindsay, which is featuring the following artists. The artist formerly known as Uther, MC Merlin, Duke Ulfius, and Earl Roderick. Kendric, you find yourself visited by a surprise guest.
Oh, okay.
Riding out of Newark down to the castle, you find yourself halfway on this journey, met by a man bearing several wagons, overflowing with coin, and a somewhat ragged-looking man who seems like he hasn't had a shave in some time. His clothes are very fine, but he himself seems like he's had some rough living lately. And he says, "My lord, don't you recognize me? It's your humble servant, Gropsis."
Gropsis, good to see you, my friend.
I've come. I managed to escape by myself and make my way to Italia.
Impressive.
There were great gains. This is what I owe you, my lord. If you'll just sign here in my book of receipt. And he hands you a big £5.
Okay.
Huge money for a guy like you, right?
Yeah. Why, it would have been.
I know. But now it's almost meaningless to you.
Yeah, more or less. I will say you have done very well for yourself, Gropsis.
He gives you a hard look that lets you know that he may never again travel through southern France.
And I am going to give him half of it back and say, when I sent you on your way with 1 Libra, I only expected 3 back, Gropsis. Now, and so I suppose I'll give him two of it back. And I'll say, you have more than fulfilled your end of the bargain.
He looks at you balefully for like a full 10 seconds and then say, "It's been so long since anyone's been nice to me. Thank you, my lord."
Of course, Gropsis. I know captivity can be difficult, especially in the hands of savages.
Why are the Germans in Spain?
Why are the Germans in Spain?
Why are the Germans
savages in this town?
The Teutons. Fortunately, it seems like he has a lot of business with people in Uther's circles because, essentially they stop early for the day as this guy's handing out small bags of gold left and right. Yeah. It sounds like Gropsis managed to organize a raid on where he was imprisoned. And the treasures of such a place were so overflowing that the Italians who rescued him bequeathed upon him a princely fortune to help him recover his goods, and essentially as like a finder's fee.
Yeah.
He made several people very rich by stealing from thieves.
Nice. Yeah, when I got that letter from him, I was like, all right, cool. I mean, good luck with that, Gropsis. That's like, in 486 terms of travel, never gonna fucking make it in time. So I'm glad that he has survived. Does he travel with the King's Progress?
No, he has debts to discharge. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
How
hey,
do you
sent
all
you a communique in Discord?
How do you all compose yourself as you're traveling?
I mean, what would be the expectation? I mean, it's with the King's progress, so I imagine that we've either got guard duty or we're simply just riding.
You are indeed somewhat assigned to rotate through guarding the tents of your betters, dukes and earls, counts, and the king. But, you know, you just spend most of the day riding with some of the most important people in Logres. I don't know if you want to try to better your situation socially or perhaps spread your influence or learn of secrets among the courts. I just want to offer you guys an opportunity to free will. You don't have to do anything.
Herawd is definitely looking for secrets.
Herawd is looking for secrets. Is there any particular place you're looking for secrets? Secrets on someone or something?
You know, he is the suspicious knight, so he is always trying to. Well, while one major mystery in his life has finally been solved, you know, he still has that nature of the world is hiding something from me. Maybe even more now that, you know, he's learned that his grandfather disappeared in a ferry.
Oh, and killed your father-in-law as well.
And killed my father-in-law. Yes.
Yeah,
living his best soap opera life.
Yeah, right.
Are you looking for fairy secrets or just secrets of courts around you? I just want to narrow
secrets of courts. I think that Herawd is not 100% ready to deal with the existence of fairy yet. Like, he's had two times that it has not.
You could have just been drunk.
I think after the second time, it's not that he's realized it's not that he was drunk, but I don't think he's ready to, I mean, he's 23. He's not ready to deal with the amount of life change that the fairy realm would represent. And so, he's going to focus on the things that he might be able to, that might make more sense in his world.
Glimo, it is a perfectly human reaction to see something too big for you to understand and just pretend that it doesn't exist.
I've played enough Call of Cthulhu.
I'm not even talking about Call of Cthulhu. But yeah, sure. I would like you to make a intrigue roll, and you may add Suspicious of Silchester to it.
Excellent. Five on a 14.
So now you're calling it out. Dice. Now that I was waiting for rolls before I brought the dice column back. I didn't want to just be around. I'll just leave it around now. We'll just be here. Yeah, 5 on a 14. You find yourself guarding the tents of the Duke Ulfius, who, as you may know, is the Duke of Silchester. And it is considered bad form for knights to listen in on conversations, but it is a long trip from Salisbury to Lindsay. And there are a few nights where you notice an old rival, Sir Blaine's, going into the tent. It's probably just by accident that someone threw a rock at you and it landed so near the tent and you need to clean it. Maybe your boots needed some polishing.
I wasn't dropping new ears, I swear.
Yes, exactly. You understand. You begin gathering the information about a ongoing plot. Ulfius is one of perhaps the most loyal servant, excepting Merlin, of King Uther. but every lord needs to be expanding their territory, securing their holds. And his conversations with the steward of Levkamagus, Sir Blaine's, I wouldn't say they border on treason, but they definitely... Ulfius is very much a knight and a lord of the times of Uther. One where might makes right. And there are frank discussions between them, tracking. It sounds as if they have a secret way of tracking specifically Kendric of Pitton and other border knights, guards. They apparently just have been extremely keen in their observations and have relatively up-to-date data that has been following them. Like, even though Kendric is here and probably isn't getting a day-to-day analysis from his people back home, Ulfius and Blaine's are learning about Kendric's guards, his border patrols, his, any cousins or brothers. They also appear to be quite closely tracking, like marriage affairs. They almost certainly have some like deep-seated contacts on the Salisbury side of the border.
Okay. When my guard duty is over, I will see if I can get the Fellowship of the Axe together.
All right.
Gentlemen, I was performing guard duty on Duke Ulfius's tent when I noticed Sir Blaine's come in. They were their voices carried more than perhaps they noticed.
And what did they speak of?
Kendric, they know probably more about your lands than you do, especially now. They know the day-to-day disposition of your guards around your estate, even now, while you're at war.
Interesting.
Among other things, that it seems they have a very large intelligence network on this side of the border, and a lot of it seems to be focused on the border itself.
Did they speak of any other manners?
They spoke of several of the other border knights, but of course, you stuck out.
Interesting.
I wanted to make you aware, and I feel like I should talk with Roderick about this, given the givens, but I wanted to give you the heads up first and take the counsel of you gentlemen before I talked with our lord.
I'm sorry. While we're sitting here talking, I would like to make sure that we are not being overheard before we go any further here.
Make an awareness roll.
Can I add my suspicious still gesture to it?
Interestingly, you can't.
Okay. Ah, so close.
I am going to tell you something above the table.
Okay.
Because I want to amuse the audience, but I don't want you to act on it.
Okay.
We see you walk around the tent, look underneath it, and make sure no one is causing any problems. Then you walk back to the fire in the middle of the tent, the smoke going out the hole in the center, the three of you warming yourselves by it. The camera pulls out through the walls of the tent, where we notice your squire, Elliston, pushed up against the side of the tent, his feet on boxes going...
So I will, pour myself some wine or ale and offer some to the other two.
Absolutely. Herawd is...
This is quite concerning, especially if they're getting daily updates while we are en route to Lindsay.
So they either have people who are observing the lands in the east, or they have spies among the people. Maybe you could have somebody create a false narrative, and that could help us work out who is feeding information back. If the false information is passed to only certain channels, use that to work out which, when they act on that, which channel is compromised.
This is such incredible high-level spycraft from James.
Yeah, because I think Kendric's intrigue is like a 3.
I was gonna say this level of intrigue is like 1700s level minimum. James is using modern techniques. Yeah. He's got PDFs with different watermarks out there, subtly embedded beyond the visible spectrum.
Do I know who the Castellan of Duplain is?
I feel like you do.
Okay. We should at least make him aware that at least Levcomagus, if not Silchester itself, is spying on us. And perhaps a few more border patrols unannounced might make them think twice.
Okay. I'm getting you a name for that, Steward.
Yeah, no worries. And I don't even think that really has to be because I feel like this dude probably already maybe he doesn't know, but has some suspicion, and because he's the guardian of the eastern border of Salisbury. But
it is Sir Bar.
Sir Bar, okay. Perhaps tomorrow I will, because I assume this is night at camp. I will ride with Sir Bar and discuss this with him.
Sir Bar is not.
Oh, is not with us.
He is not with you, but that is who
gotcha.
who the person in charge of that particular area
okay.
is.
Perhaps maybe I will ride with the Earl and discuss this with him.
Maybe over the next couple of days we can keep an eye on the camp followers who come and go from Blaine's company.
Yeah, the self-trust.
Try to identify who's bringing the information, at least.
So, I have been charged with helping Earl Roderick with some of these Under the Rose investigations.
I see.
So,
I will leave it in your capable hands, then, Sir Herawd.
I will speak with him and let him know that you are in the loop and are at his disposal, or however he wishes to play this.
Very well.
Well, let's just keep our eyes and ears open then.
Where do we want to go from there? Next day.
I have a question. I have a question mechanically.
Yes.
So, my wife is back home.
Yep.
She has a high level of spycraft.
Yep.
I have a high level of falconry.
Mm-hmm.
Would we be able to exchange messages?
Falcons are not pigeons.
Okay, fair enough.
Your falcon will die long before it ever gets home.
I know my falcon will die, but would it be reasonable that the two of us would have a message system?
You know
by
what?
avian character.
Dark words.
Yeah, let's let the dice decide this. I will need a successful falconry and a successful spy from your wife.
Okay.
Falconry from you, spy from your wife. They're both successful. You'll get what you're looking for. All right, 9 of 10. Yeah.
Where is her? Okay. 2 on a 9.
Okay. It's not daily contact, but every few days you send England's most renowned messenger bird. Yes, the slowest avian predator in the world, an owl, with a message.
Amazing.
Can I check falconry for that?
Yeah, sure. And have your wife check spy as well.
Nice. Hey, they are silent though when they fly.
I will relay this message home, and also I will ask for a private meeting with Earl Roderick.
Okay. The Earl will have you ride with him. He certainly feels that the sound of being on the road will cover any discussions the two of you might have. He pre-assumes that you going out of your way to talk to him means that you have something to say of note.
Oh, Roderick, I have some disturbing news. It appears that Duke Orpheus and Sir Blaine's seem to have advanced intelligence as to what is going on with your nobles along the border. They know, for example, the day-to-day movements of Sir Kendric's troops, when even he doesn't have that information, in addition to what's going on in several other houses.
I know I'm moving here, but I'm just pretending you're both riding on horses, along a pretty bad old English. Well, actually, this is probably a Roman road, so it hasn't been maintained in like 80 years, but it's probably okay. No, there's no coconuts behind you, Glimo. You have real horses making real horse noises. We have horses in the soundtrack that I'm playing right now, courtesy of Tabletop Audio. We don't need coconuts.
And you know what the crazy thing is? We probably rode through, like on our way out of Salisbury or Sarum, we probably rode through Lefka Magus.
You did, absolutely. He turns to glance at you with a raised eyebrow and he says, I've heard of the efficacy of the spy networks of Silchester. We have something similar. I hadn't realized it had advanced so far.
Going to say, this seems beyond what we would normally have, my lord. And it seems they have a secret way of tracking the border knights and what goes on within their domains.
Oh, come now. It can't be that secret. I assume it's just men in the forest watching from the treetops.
The level of detail that they have makes me think it's beyond that.
Do you suspect witchcraft?
anything's possible, but I tend to think it's probably more mundane than that. I worry that they may have someone either embedded in the households or that they've turned someone to their side with simple outlay of cash. I wanted to speak.
Do not
with
look
you,
into this any further.
my lord.
I will handle it on my side.
As at your command, my lord. If there's anything that myself or Kendric can do, you need only say the word.
There is something more you can do for me, Sir Herawd. Come closer. I have something I want to show you.
Yes, my lord.
He pulls his horse right up next to you, and he wraps an arm around your shoulders. He leans in close, and he says, "There is a need among my knights. A position that needs filling. Sir Lycus was a terrible figure of intimidation. These times are not as chivalrous and glorious as they could be. And I find myself in need of another man like him in order to make our enemies think twice. They should question what would happen if I was to unleash such a knight among their lands. I have the next assassin knight chosen, but I wish to keep their identity secret while they are training for their position. I understand that you have a group of minstrels.
Hi, my lord.
I would like for you to meet with them and make sure that they are spreading quietly, just to make sure it seems as if they are not intentionally spreading this information. Stories that Sir Jaredin will never again hold a sword. While he recovers and trains, I would have our enemies confused by a mist or smoke, so that when he comes for them, they'll never see it. I trust that I can leave this at least to you.
Absolutely, my lord. It's well within my wheelhouse.
Very good. I'm going to say something very loudly. Laugh. Incredible! I mean, they don't make portraits like these anymore. Wow, ancient art, just a lot of pornography. Huge amounts of pornography. What were the Romans thinking? Take 5, write down that at the end of the year, you can get 5 glory for impressing Earl Roderick with your knowledge of plots. You don't get that until the end of the year. I noticed you said that you wanted to speak with Andre the Younger before winter. Technically, this whole adventure is taking place in the next year. Technically. You are partially wintering on your journey.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that technicality is brought forward. It's actually going to be the new year in a few days.
Okay. So before we headed out, I would have done my usual.
Yeah, no, you could talk.
Okay.
We're going to have you talk to him when you get back, but.
Okay.
That covers that plot. Anything else anyone wants to do before you arrive in Lindsay?
I think Gwgan, for his part, is just trying to find ways to impress his betters. So taking on whatever task he can get given, spending a lot of time around the Earl or the like, just trying to establish himself, because it's his first year and he was sort of elevated early.
I understand he's an intern, so
yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
looking to network.
He'll get copies.
Yeah, I believe that this could be a courtesy roll.
All right. I'll take that. Oh, just off. 11 out of 10.
The thing is, Gwgan, you do all those things. However, it's not impressive because basically anyone could do them. So you blend into the background perfectly, making no impressions on anyone except the staff, who are glad to have someone do. I mean, of course, no peasant is going to offer the king a cup of coffee or something like that. But, other than that, for the most part, you are replacing a common servant and are treated as such. A background character in a greater story.
I would like to just as an aside, as we're traveling, like occasionally sing some songs, maybe a rousing remix rendition of what is it, the hammer of Pitton.
All right, hit me with the singing roll for sure.
May I join you as well?
The more the merrier.
Both of you make a singing roll then. Go ahead and check singing.
All right.
Both of you can check singing. All right.
Nice. We got some pipes in this group.
Here's the thing. One day you are guarding the tent of the king, and you hear him inside just like moving pieces on a table with like a fork prong and like moving troops or whatever. And you hear him under his breath. He's just like, you're like, oh shit, is that my song?
Amazing. Love it.
You arrive in Lindsay, none the worse for wear. The travel was quite slow. Sorry, I said Lindsay. I meant Lincoln, which is in Lindsay.
Yeah.
You arrive outside of a Roman fort that is Lincoln, and you are stopped at the postern gates. The steward promises that Duke of Lindsay will be back soon, and that you should all settle in. The Duke of Lindsay is reportedly taking some time away from the town, and Uther calls for a hunt.
Oh yeah, we'd love to hunt.
Oh, do you? Would you like to hunt?
I do.
Very well. Let's go to the hunt screen. You're now hunting in hard mode because you're hunting in the winter, the time when it is most difficult to hunt. Have ye any mates upon this hunt?
I will join.
Yeah.
Very well. You are not familiar with this land, so you do not get the +5 instinctive bonus. Yeah. What would you like to hunt?
You
can also attempt to hunt special creatures if you would like.
I don't think I'm there quite yet. Okay. Let's do like a boar, maybe.
A boar, you say? Very well. Let me look up the boar's evidence. 179. Creatures and beasts. Discretion, valor. You're not going to need that. You're committed to hunting this boar.
I mean, in winter, you basically just accept every roll or a crit in there to move you forward faster. The moment you fail, you're pretty much out for that day.
Yep.
All right, we ready?
Yes, I am ready for you to begin with your hunting rolls.
All right, we're out for the day.
Is that it? You just okay?
No. I'm just kidding. we'll
Crit still.
Yeah, we'll give it.
You are tracking the boar, but alas, there are many boars in the local area, and more importantly, the local knights. How should I put this instead? It's not the local knights. It's that hunting parties of your betters, I think, get slightly ahead of you, and are perhaps not equal to the task of hunting the boar. Thus, it's like when you're golfing behind a very slow group.
Sure.
You're like, can we just play through? All right. A success. You move forward slightly.
So basically, I have if I don't get a crit on this next roll, we
you want to be impassioned, Sir Kendric.
Let's see.
No, because you might fail to hunt, in which case you'll become.
Yeah. Well,
and
I don't know what really applies here, because this is we're literally just hunting for the fun of it, and because we're bored. So I don't see how any of my passions would really apply. So I'll just go with a basic roll.
Very well.
Success, but not enough to
indeed
to track the board before nightfall. So I think I'm like,
you have 2 more attempts essentially.
Yeah.
You need to hit a critical.
No, that's a failure. And I think with that,
you need 2 crits now.
Yeah, I think
you need
Kendric
1.
goes.
You don't need 2. You need 1 crit.
Well, we'll do this.
You can try to luck shot for a crit. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do this last roll to see if I hit a 12, but no.
Your time on the hunt during the week ends quite poorly for you. You have literally nothing to show for it. You're back because your failures move you back 1. You are back at the beginning of the hunting track.
Yeah.
Other groups do about as well. The king, of course, downs a mighty stag, as befits his prowess, and Earl Roderick brings back several birds. Perhaps not the most showy of offerings to his betters, but it's better
I
than
didn't even
nothing.
think about that. Could I?
Yeah, I was gonna say we could have gone falconing instead.
There's my falcons.
Yeah, I'll let you make 1 falconing roll.
Nope.
It's not so bad as your bird just intentionally refuses to listen to you. But again, you're entering into a contested airspace with a bunch of literally angry birds, all trying to find the same praise. You know what I mean? I think he comes back injured, and you think that it might have been another knight's bird rather than...
It was definitely Sir Blaine's bird.
Sir Blaine's bird, yes.
Oh my God. You know, Sir Blaine's is not behind everything. Sir Blaine's didn't make you roll a 12.
He's in the dice. He's in the dice roller.
He's a fictional character. He can't hurt you in that way. Not until I pay Roll20 to let me choose what dice come up. In which case, then you're doomed.
AP is such a Blaze apologist.
Yeah.
Blades apologist. Yep, that's right. I was getting my T-shirt printed that said
I heart Sir Blades.
I heart Levkamagus. What is it? The medieval times? I would definitely be in the Blaine's box for sure.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yep. Yeah. 100%. You'd be cheering for the wrong
I would be in the Merlin
night.
box.
All right, so we return empty-handed, unfortunately.
You do. Finally, after the hunt is concluded for the week, the Duke of Lindsay shows up, gives a very short formal greeting, and all of his attendant nobles prepare a feast for the king. It's clear that the Duke is not happy that the king is here, or, that a huge pile of nobles, all of their attendant hanger-ons and all of their attendant hanger-ons are all here eating his food.
In the winter.
In the winter. It's not a great time for him, yeah. I will allow intrigue rules around the board here.
Any bonus to it?
Nope. No, it turns out that the Duke of Lindsay is not from Shilchester, Glimo. Not this time.
Fails all around.
Fails all around.
Me. So
there
close.
is... I think that you're all aware that there is higher politics going on here, and none of you can tap into it. You just don't know the international scene well enough to understand what's going on within and without Logris. One thing you do hear discussed a lot is the College of Legates. Of course, Earl Roderick is a member, one of the 29, as is the Dukes of Silchester and Lindsay. But it sounds as if Uther wants to be High King, as he self-declared when he beheld the sword, he said, "I am the High King." That isn't technically true. And perhaps that's what you hear discussed quite a bit, is that he simply does not have the votes as it is to earn such a high title. That said, the feasts that you attend are good and plentiful, but not the highest level of quality. The king and the duke at the high table are extremely formal and rigid with each other. But after dinner, entertainment begins in a way that's a bit unusual. You don't really have it that much in the South. Some of the bards sing, some men tell tales of battle, and then the king stops everybody in the middle of some fledgling knight's story about how he engaged in combat with some bandits. The king's just like, all right, okay, Sir Kendric de Pitton, and the whole hall, everyone that knows who you are, looks at you, and 90% of the people go, "Who's that?" Tell me the story of my sword. Tell me of the adventure of the Sword Lake.
Of course, my king.
Okay. You can make a compose roll if you want to take a moment to prepare the story, perhaps in rhyming couplets.
Sure.
Iambic pentameter if you like 5 parts.
I think, yeah. Well, he's gonna make. I'm gonna obviously do singing for my presentation.
But you have to start with compose. You don't have to start with compose. I'm just saying if you want to compose something first.
Can I help you to compose? Because I've got points.
Andre the Younger is here.
You know what? I'll say yes.
I will offer my minstrel troupe to you.
I'm going to be flat honest with you. Andre the Younger is too small a beans to be going up before the High King of Britain. I'm just going to be flat honest with you.
But I'm assuming that, they do this for a living.
Right,
they probably have a better compose role than...
Andre the Younger himself can come to your table during your hastily scrawled writing of notes to help you compose. He will offer you a +5 to a compose roll.
Yeah, I go, what rhymes with lake? What rhymes with lake?
What is your compose, Spoon?
Cake.
My compose is a 1.
Well, I mean, I have 10. I can try and help you write it, so...
Okay. Is that acceptable?
Yes. Andre the Younger is figuring out a way to describe your posterior as cake in order to rhyme it with lake.
So who's rolling here, AP?
You are rolling it, Gwgan. You are rolling compose at a +5.
Okay.
I mean, look, it does take an unusual amount of lewd and lascivious input from Andre the Younger to get this story working. And there is far too many descriptions of Kendric's rippling pectorals. But you do quickly get together a poem called The Hammer of the Sword Lake.
The Sword Lake. It's got the same chorus.
I mean, you literally are putting it together in front of the king in 5 minutes. He has to work with what he's got.
Yeah.
You get a +5 to your singing roll.
Okay. Oh, do I call on a passion here as well? I would like to call upon, I think, my hospitality passion. I am presenting an entertainment at a feast, being a good guest.
This is a rough one because the host isn't asking you, the king is, but I'll allow it because of how it's intentioned.
Okay. All right. Impassioned.
So you get another +5?
Yep. Oops, that's swimming. Not singing. So that's a total of +10. And I succeed.
Take a check in singing. Gwgan, take a check in compose. Andre the Younger will also take a check in compose. He's also going to take one in spy.
If I've already got a check in singing, what do I do
I'm
then?
sorry, you get nothing further.
Okay.
You tell a tale right up until... So here's the thing. This is the important part about the compose. If you were telling this tale, there would be some real shit talk towards Merlin, methinks.
Yeah,
instead,
100%.
Merlin is a background character that only appears at the very end to, like, he shows up and he's like, "Oh, Kendric, I'd raise you from the ground." And you're like, "Oh, Merlin, I'm so glad to have you around." And everyone's like, "Oh, man, what a great rhyme." You get to the part where... oh my god, I can't remember James's original... Owain. You get to the part where Owain is about to die, and Uther's just like, "Thank you so much, Kendric. Thank you so much. Amazing song." He just cuts you off in the middle of the song.
Yep. I just bow courteously and return to my seat.
Uther stands up and begins drumming his hands on the hilt of his sword, which everyone knows that's Excalibur now. And he says, "Merlin, can you tell us more about this sword?" And of course, everybody knows that Uther has it. But then Merlin starts telling the high history of Excalibur. Uther is drumming his hands on a sword, and Merlin pulls Excalibur from under the table. Just to be clear, it is kind of acceptable that the king should wear a sword in another duke's hall as long as he's been invited. This is the second time Merlin has just whipped a sword out in front of the king and in front of other people. Like, if he were a knight, this dude would be dead. The hall... All shadows are banished as a sort of ethereal fairy light emanates from the sword and sees truth around you. Those who are wicked seem perhaps more wicked, and those who are good and just seem more so. Uther beholds the sword and takes it once again as the Duke Lindsay sits straight up in his chair, as do all of his knights. All of them are very impressed with the sword, and the Duke of Lindsay's attitude immediately becomes one of acceptance and perhaps even a slight submission to Uther. And by the time you have stepped down, Kendric, there is already a talk about a new vote among the College of Legates.
Okay, cool.
Everyone can mark down. End of year. 15 glory for witnessing the submission of Lindsay.
Was there any glory for the presentation of the song? Or the tale?
You know what? I'll give you 10 glory for singing the song. Over the next few days, the king continues to wine and dine. He asks his court to arrange for more messengers to be sent out to nearby kings so that they be brought back to him and they can observe his glory. You can either choose to end out the year or take a further adventure on an embassy to the King of Malahut in the city of Eberacum.
I'd do it.
You guys are playing such a dangerous game. All right.
So we're acting as messengers.
Yep.
Right.
You will be given diplomatic immunity.
Immunity. Who is asking us to go? Is it
King personally?
The king personally.
King personally.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm on board then.
I mean, he's dispatching a ton of knights in every direction. He probably doesn't ask you by name. He just like when your group approaches him, he's like, "Look, I need someone to take this mallet."
Hey, you three, like
sword song dudes.
Yeah, guy who sang that song.
Eberacum is a old city. It was once the citadel and powerhouse of a great and wealthy king. And when the Romans came, they of course conquered it, as they did many things, and turned it into a fortress and added a second castle to it. The current king, King Herawd the Apri, has enclosed that second fortress and basically fully made 2 cities on either side of a set of rivers and bridges. It's quite impressive to behold. And there is a new defense work around the city. All right, Glimo, you got me. We're edging on the time. So perhaps as you behold the majesty of Eberacum, we will ourselves ride out for a rest. Any closing thoughts for the first hour of this adventure before we dispel ourselves into the very vagaries of...
It's everything I could have asked for all week.
I put
the song into Discord, AP.
Oh god, James. I'm so worried about what you could possibly have put in there. Very well. We will return for the middle part soon.
It's actually really good.
Welcome back to a show where 3 married men have me play their wives. I've been waiting to use that since the beginning of the episode. Oh, man. I don't know that I've ever talked on stream about how much I like romance stories and how much they don't fit in with tabletop RPG groups. It's rough. It's rough. And specifically, I should not be writing romance stories. Oh.
Hey man, I was trying with Gwiona. And I mean, there still may be a romance story there.
Could be. That is you got my full game here, Spoods, so that should tell you a lot about me. My full game has been on display during Pendragon.
Yeah.
You just can't recognize it because game recognizes game. That's why I seem unfamiliar.
Wow.
I'm willing to listen. James is eating. Somebody has to dunk on me. You know, we can't leave it to him. He's busy.
I thought you were dunking on me, saying
no, I'm dunking on me.
Too.
How often do I go out of my way to insult my friends? That's ridiculous.
I was going to say you could have started the whole segment with the things about this being a game where you force women to play your husbands.
Yeah, I could have, but that would have been weirder for me. Where were we? Yes, you had just agreed.
Before we go to Eberacum, do we want to do the Andre the Younger scene, or do you want to save that?
You know what? Let's do the Andre the Younger scene. What do you have to say to him?
I pass on the message that my patron wishes a rumor to go far and wide that Sir Jaredin will never hold a sword again. It should be said with discretion, as if it's a painful thing to admit, but it should be have the proper gravitas that everyone will buy it.
Andre the Younger gives you a frank appraisal and says, "My lord, I don't know that subtlety is in the cards for my group. But let me hit you with this. I'm writing a new song right in front of you called Jaredin of the Bed."
I love where your head's at.
Okay, we're going to start there.
How's the health of the troop?
Well, pregnancies, philandering, one guy lost a hand for thievery. Overall, I feel like we're doing all right.
And the thing that we don't like to talk about.
Which thing don't we like to talk about? I feel like there are several of those.
The French sickness.
Ah, the French disease. We're spreading it far and wide.
Excellent. I do love your frankness, Andre.
Well, I feel like he wouldn't take that the same way you mean it.
Yeah, frankness meaning
how French he is.
Yeah, how French he is, exactly.
The amount of syphilis he has.
No. The Franks is Southern England. Picts. Have you any news for me?
Picts are Scottish. They're in Northern England.
Oh, you're right, North. Yes.
Yeah.
It's that knowledge is something I picked up on while reading some rules. Yeah, he looks at you oddly after you comment on his frankness, and then he lets it pass, knowing that you didn't mean it in the way that he heard it, and says, "Yes, I can be quite frank. As I mentioned, subtlety is not one of our great virtues among the Andre the Younger and his troop. It should be noted that my aunt had a child who is also now named Andre, so I'm now old Andre the Younger."
Very well.
It would be old Andre, but I have an uncle named Old Andre. They named him that after I was born and named Andre the Younger.
Would it be Andre the Elder then?
A mysterious voice from afar. I don't make the naming conventions. I just live with Old Andre the Younger.
What word do you have from your travels this year?
There is a lot of talk about the South. Not enough people worried about Saxons. Too many talking about dukes in the South. Specifically those in the lands of Tintagel, Lyonesse. They say that those men don't show up for muster. Indeed, no such men have made their way to any of Uther's courts recently. A lot of talk about that College of Legates. It's a little bit above my head, but it sounds like everyone knows that Uther doesn't have the votes.
Heard that there may be a wind of change coming in that respect.
Indeed.
Perhaps thanks to the song you helped compose.
I very much doubt that. But I appreciate the effort to butter me up. It's nice to have a patron who recognizes my talents. What can I say? It's almost as if I gave 3 paragraphs to a machine and it spit out a few lines of verse. The audience doesn't know that James had ChatGPT write the song.
We only posted the song privately.
Yes, I understand. I wanted to reward his lack of efforts in that regard. I suspect those 3 paragraphs must have been very specific in order to get that exact output.
Oh, yeah.
Don't let me shit talk it too much. Old Andre the Younger seems ready to depart this conversation, unless you have any other business with him.
Andre, I've heard rumors that Silchester seems to know a whole lot more in explicit detail about what's going on in Pitton and the other Border Lords' courts. Is there anything that you can tell me?
What sort of things?
Daily movements of troops, political information, courtships, marriages.
That's so interesting.
It seems a level of detail that is beyond even the lords when they are not at home.
I'll be frank with you, my lord, as I'm now always frank. Many lords cannot see the forest through the trees. If you want to know what's going on someplace, you ask the little people, has been my experience on the road. Lords may know a great many things, such as how to make wine or how to muster a troop. But if you want to know what's happening in a place, I would not ask the Lord, I would ask the people, which is, of course, exactly what I do for you.
And I very much appreciate that.
So you should be asking yourself, who's asking questions and giving answers among the people?
I appreciate your insight as always, Andre. Where do you think you'll go the next year?
I was hoping to make it to Londonium. It's pretty happening right now, and the Saxons haven't conquered it yet, so I was thinking we might head there and have a real Roman time of it. You know, fornicating, getting drunk, writing shit on walls.
Sounds like a marvelous time. I wish that I could join you, but
You'd be surprised what you can learn in Londonium.
duty calls.
The people you can meet.
How did we do on the take this year?
He slides 2 pounds over to you.
Most well, my lord. Most well.
Well, things fell into our hands nicely.
May Londonium treat you well. And I stand a glass to him.
Fancy cap off. Oh, you hand him a glass. So he's like ready to leave, and then you give him a glass, and he puts his cap back on and tries to be like, ah, what a funny jest. Takes the glass from you.
And, at this point, we'll just, sit and drink and sing and whatever else.
In the words of President Barton, speak as men do.
Speak as men do. Also, I will take the information given to me and put it in, the latest missive to my wife to see if the two of us can try and figure out where the leak is.
Interesting. I'm gonna make a roll for her real quick. She needs a 3 or less.
She needs a 3?
Yep.
Holy shit. She did not get a 3.
Yeah. The skill that she needs in order to figure out what's going on is a 3 for her.
It's not spycraft.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It is not spycraft indeed.
Okay.
For a while.
You continue receiving reports of generous hunts along the forest border with Silchester and Salisbury. And actually, you hear that the peasants streaming over the border and causing, property ownership problems have greatly died down as Silchester knights have been patrolling the roads rather heavily.
I pass any information that I get on the border to Kendric.
Very well.
Good to know.
Kendric, Herawd's intelligence network is much better than yours. You get like a once a week letter from your steward who's just like, things are well here. Everyone is fed, and we've all been paid.
I was saying, you mean my wife?
Yes, sure.
Project Hubris is on track.
Project Hubris is on track.
Oh, man.
I love Project Hubris. It's so good.
Now the only thing is left to chop them up and spread them throughout the ship.
Maybe send a distress call in broken Latin.
Oh, man.
You find yourselves thusly waiting outside of Ibaracum. You are only allowed
my medieval England geography is terrible. Where is Ibaracum?
Ibaracum,
way north.
Up here.
Thank you. Thank you.
To the kingdom of Malahut, to Ibaracum, you are restricted to the old city only. You may not go to the king's court, cross the bridges, or enter into the new castle.
It's if you've been to New York, this is the York that New York was based on.
Oh my god, I remember who was that presidential candidate who was pushing for the basic income, universal basic income? Andrew Yang. He was like, why is it called New York if there's no city called York in America? And I was like, ooh, Jesus. Imagine being a billionaire who has no idea how history works. Oh, God. These are the people who run New York City. You all are given some small manner of options here. You can simply wait in Ibaracum for the man they call the Centurion King, King Herawd to return, or you could always go try to find the king, the Centurion King. Now, the word on the street is that he is out fighting Saxons in the east, that there is a Saxon landing somewhere in the forests east of Ibaracum, and that he is out battling them along the coast. There are also rumors of Saxons somewhat closer to home. If you wanted to go just do a few rides around the city and see what's going on there. But remember, your actions literally reflect the policies of Uther. So whatever you do, choose wisely.
So I think we've been charged to deliver a message. So we need to make sure that whatever we do doesn't compromise. Like, if we keep our message and we go off and start fighting Saxons and we don't survive, then we have failed in our duty to deliver that message.
All correct.
So I'm not talking to us. I'm talking to my friends here.
Okay.
So we could, for example, leave the message with someone here and go out looking for the king, or go out looking to help on Uther's behalf and return here. But if we don't return, at least then we can say the message was still, we will know in the kingdom of heaven that message was delivered. I feel sitting idly here and waiting, while it's within our remit, it doesn't really show the
reflects badly on the king.
Yeah, it's not showing the memory which we represent.
I will scribe the message and seal it. I've got 10 points in Latin, so I feel like that's a doable thing for me. And leave it with the king's steward. And then I feel like we should go in search of the king as opposed to just generally running about.
I agree. I also believe we should go in search of this Centurion King.
So you are making a copy of the message and leaving it with the seneschal of the castle?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The seneschal just takes a look at it and says, where are the signatures and the seal?
Oh, I've sealed it with my my personal seal.
Yeah, I don't think it was open for him to read.
Yeah, right. I've sealed it with my personal seal and said, should we not return, we leave this message, this copy of this message, and we're going off to find Hadrian and to deliver it personally.
You mean King Herawd?
Sorry, my bad. King Herawd, and should we not return, here is a copy of the letter. We're going to go and find him as knights do.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't need to unseal it. We knew that basically the king was asking him to come and see the sword of victory. So we could have written that down. That's a message just in case we don't survive.
Okay. Yeah. The seneschal makes a face that makes it seem as if this is unusual.
Perhaps you could provide us with a guide to where the king's army is.
He's just like, no, I don't think I will.
What station is this guy?
I mean, he's the seneschal of a king, so much higher than you, I would think.
Wow. I assume he's at least a knight.
He's at least a knight, yes.
Okay.
You demand that you are provided with guides, and you're just like, no, our fighting men are fighting with our king. I have been left no instructions that.
You look quite fit.
He says, thank you. You look quite fit as well. The men of the north have heard of your hammer, Sir Kendric.
Well, I plan to go put it to good use.
Hey now.
Gives you an odd look because that's not the hammer he's heard of.
Yeah, I know.
Were you not married recently, sir?
You seem to know quite a great deal about me.
I am the seneschal of a king. Knowing quite a great deal about southern knights is a good idea.
Well, yes, but the hammer that I was referring to is the one that killed Saxons.
He gives you a very French sneer. as he takes your twice sealed document and says, if you're looking for the king, you can find him on your own through the swamps.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Goodbye.
Right. So sneering. I mean, look, there has been no offer of hospitality made to you.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, hospitality has been flatly rejected. He owes you nothing, and you ask of him things that he just doesn't want to do. That said,
sure.
You go to find the king's army. While no guide is made available to you, you can, of course, just co-opt some peasant or like an armsman or something to act as a guide for you locally. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. I don't know whether I don't think hunting is appropriate here. I will allow whoever you have leading this band make an awareness roll.
I have a 6.
I have a 15, but I don't know I'm really leading this band, so...
I've gotten an 11. So I think I'll take it, I guess.
Okay.
No, 14.
It takes a long time. You are out here riding in the snows of North Bretonia, middle North Bretonia, for some time before you find the king. It is cold, wet. You are forced to dodge bands of roaming Saxons who appear to be like groups of almost hoplite-like scouts looking for the Centurion King. So it's like the three of you, your squires, your horses, and like one guy named Weesop who's just like, oh, we have to hide behind this tree, like all of us in a straight line. The hill over there, we have to get down in there, and maybe they won't find us. We'll hide in the slight rolling hills of Britain. There's no way they'll ever find us there. It is a long tale, weeks in the telling, before you finally find the Centurion King. And he just flatly asks you, like you ride into his cab, and he's just like, what's your business?
We bring word from King Uther.
Yeah, what's the word?
He would like an audience, or he would like you to attend court at some point to view the Sword of Victory.
Kind of looks at several other people nearby who are all sneering, and he says, tell King Uther that I will visit him when I have leisure time.
Could we perhaps help to free you up?
Oh, my apologies. I didn't realize you were a giant capable of slaying 100 Saxons with a single sword swing.
Well,
Malik,
I'm not, but I have the hammer here.
Excuse me. A king is speaking. Malwick, provide these men with letters of safety. They may return from Malahut uncontested by our guards. You're left with yet another almost French sneering knight who's writing very shittily in Latin, like, these men should not be interfered with.
I think as we get our letters, I go, well, I certainly hope Saxons can read Latin.
We're happy to take our leave, Your Majesty, but should you need 3 good swords...
I see 3 good swords. I'm sure that I will make sure that they are added to my camp. You are free to go home, Knights of Uther.
We will pass along your words, Your Majesty. And he takes his fucking letter and walks away.
It is a long, long ride throughout the season south all the way back to Salisbury. most of the length of the island, not including Scotland. But the great news is you get 10 glory for delivering the message at the end of the year, which is now. We reached the end of the year. I would call us all friends, but as James noted earlier, he was talking to his friends and didn't include me. So, acquaintances, let's do end of year 487. Let me get my document for winter phase. No solo scenarios because no one went apeshit and went mad. That's my favorite level of not going mad.
Have Spoon's pin anymore?
What?
I was looking for your pin for the end of. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's just down below it because we've got family trees pinned ahead of it. And I mean that is so like 2/3 of that is from the core book, which we're using the Great Pendragon campaign not abridged, but like alternate rules.
Okay, so first thing is experience checks.
Well, solo scenarios, but we don't have any. So yeah, experience checks. Go ahead and check them. Experiences.
Pretty light this year.
I feel like I gave out a
worldly
bunch.
goes up. That's not good for me.
I think just 3, but we didn't fight anything. So
if your worldly goes up, you know that means that your spiritual goes down.
Oh, I did not. I just missed getting indulgent. Damn it.
Spiritual goes up for me. I think fairy lore has to go up for
Fairy
me.
lore goes up.
Yeah, fairy lore goes up.
Only barely though.
Yeah.
Falconry does not.
And then singing.
Come on, intrigue.
Singing goes up for me.
Oh wait a minute, no. Sorry,
that's
falconry does go up. It's
Yeah,
fails.
you want to roll higher, Glimo.
Is fails.
I was trying to figure out what you meant. I was like, how could that be?
And that's it. That's it for checks.
Very well.
We did not do any combat this year.
Singing went up. Fairy lore went up. Compose went up. James, I think you're muted.
Sorry, yeah, so I got singing, fairy lore, and compose. Missed out on horsemanship and spiritual.
Please, all of you, increase your ages and the age of your squires by 1. Is anyone 35?
No. Or 24 now?
24. And Gwgan is younger.
Yeah. I think Gwgan's 21 now? 22?
22 at the end of the year, yeah.
Oh, Taylor
Like
Swift.
Squires at 18, I believe, now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
3 more years before we get new squires.
Well, you're assuming they live.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
And that one of them doesn't get discovered.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I know.
And now we can roll for our
It's stewardship
wives.
time. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, so we need to work out the weather first.
Yep.
Well,
Okay,
do we do our wives skills first?
Oh, so yeah, wise skills go up when it's part of aging.
Sure, go ahead.
And I think that the top 3 skills automatically go up. Is that correct?
To a level up to a certain level.
Up to 15.
Up to 15, yeah, that's it.
And then after 15, it's a roll.
That's right, yeah. Only those 3 skills go up. The other skills only go up when they age, if they're below the age of 20.
Industry does not. And then roll for. So sugary goes up. Courtesy does not go up. Okay.
So those skills don't go up by making a skill roll. They go up by rolling a d6, and on a 6 they go up. Once they're over 15.
Once they're over 15. Okay, sorry.
And I mean, only one of those skills is over 15.
Yeah, only industry. That's it. Yeah, that's all that matters.
So if it's, and I'm sorry, what was it on the d6?
A 6 on the d6.
6.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not okay. Okay, fail either way. So,
all right. The part I always forget: the weather roll.
Yes.
You all are rolling against your own stewardships, and then I roll for weather.
You roll. That's what you roll 2d20. You roll one dice for what the weather is, and then one dice to see what the weather's success roll is.
The weather has failed. I got the order backwards. The weather has failed, which is good for you.
And we roll stewardship.
Yeah, we roll stewardship. In this case, for most of us, I think it's our wives' stewardship.
Yep.
Oh, I failed too.
Wow.
I also failed.
Oh, I fumbled.
Incredible. Well, the ones who failed live a normal year. Your fumbleature means that you live as a poor knight this year.
Yep.
Now, I'm saying that, but I mean,
I can pay
all of you pay massive piles of money to live better.
I am going to spend 3 to
live rich.
Yeah, I'm going to spend 3 to live rich.
I'm going to spend 6 to live superlative.
Actually, is it just 6 to live superlative?
It's 3 extra each
3
time.
plus 3?
3 plus 3, yeah.
Okay, I will spend to live superlative.
So 3, 6, 9. I will
she's
spend.
fine.
I will also spend 9 to live. Oh, Jesus, spend 9 to live.
Hey, you said it, man. You prompted that one.
Yep.
36, 24, 36. Only if she's 5'3". Listen, I got all sorts of songs about numbers, man.
It was a bad year at the Pitton household.
I mean, we'll see how bad it is.
I can afford it, though. Yeah.
The harvest may have been bad, but the wealth is overflowing.
Yeah.
I mean, for it to truly be a bad year,
yeah,
you have to start like losing manners and such.
Yeah.
I only have the 1 manor, so.
But for most of you, despite your wives becoming increasingly better at stewardship, it is a rough year for you. The harvests aren't particularly poor, but it seems as if this year money is flooding back into cities. Merchants seem to be taking a good bit of the cut of your wealth in order to make sure that the crops get delivered to Windsor Castle, London, Sarum, Silchester, Levkamagus. Taxes are down and tariffs are up. The merchants are making a killing, and you know how it is. Your knights, the common people hate you and are trying to do everything they can to pay you less. That said,
landlords, man.
Yeah, you guys are the landlords, sure.
Yeah,
we need to roll for special horses.
I can't fail.
Very well.
I don't think I have any special horses.
No.
Yeah,
but you know, Glimo, you should roll anyway, because if we're going to show this dice roller and you're going to encourage it, you're going to roll, goddammit.
I got a 8. I got a 19, so my horse is healthy.
None of you can have another marriage underneath Christian law.
I haven't got a marriage yet. I'm rolling my courtesy to see if I can attract a wife.
Yes, of course. Interesting. Please do so.
Okay. Yes.
How courteous of you.
So I can roll on the table now, and if I don't accept it, I can then have a +1 on my roll next year. So on the table it is.
I thought you had to decide if you were good. Okay.
Daughter of a.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Eldest daughter of a rich vassal knight. I'm happy to accept that. For Can you tell me anything about this potential suitor, Arthur?
Can you give me until next time?
Yes, I can.
Eldest daughter of a rich vassal knight. I mean, look, lives have become increasingly important here. I don't just want to make somebody up on the spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. I was joking.
In the meantime, though,
what am I, Eric Fulgaris with a fully programmed character generator with backgrounds and their favorite form of cheese?
Hark, a lady. Although you should roll that 1d3 plus 6 dowry.
Yes,
of course.
8 dowry and 100 glory.
Congratulations, Gwgan.
I'm gonna have to figure out who the rich vassal knight is. I'm thinking it might be Sir Amig.
Castellan of Vagon?
Yes.
Nice.
Shall we roll for
listen,
children?
you know, conservation of NPCs.
Yeah, of course.
What was the question there?
We like Amig.
Should we roll for children?
Yeah, of
roll
course.
for children.
5.5 child.
So superlative is +3 on the childbirth table.
Yes. So none of you can have your children die, but you can have ill children.
No new children right now.
14, child born.
Yep.
Roll
D6.
1d6.
Donkey Kong.
It is a boy.
We had a baby. It's a boy. Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Childbirth is a +5. Child survival is a +3.
I see.
I still have no children. I still have no children.
No, it's backwards. Childbirth is +3. Survival is +5.
No, that's
core.
That's an old misprint one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Superlative night. Childbirth is +5. Child survival is +3.
Yeah, +3.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm going from GPC.
Yeah.
okay. I still.
Yep. Childbirth gets a +5.
Yeah.
Child. So it's +3 on the survival.
Yep. None of your children can die, but they can be ill.
That can be it. Yeah. Both my children are hale and hearty.
Tell me about this heir born, the promise of your grandfather.
Apparently, I have a table for this.
Just name him after your grandfather.
You know what? I will do that.
Young Andre the Younger.
That seems like something that I would do, and then I don't have to find the link.
Timothy. It's like Timothy, but with the B.
Timothy. You could just roll is it a boy or girl?
I have a boy.
Wow. Are you Pokemoning him right now?
You can roll me a D1000.
I like AP's idea that I would, given everything that just happened, I would name him Daroni.
Now you guys are rolling for child survival, including for the child that just was born, blah, 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 blah. And then I need a set of D20s for familial events.
My event is 13.
And then...
Family member lost or missing?
Oh, no. James, please choose one family member.
I'll get rid of that uncle, the old uncle that would technically have been the next heir.
I see. Yes. The one who was at your council meeting being rather rude.
Yes.
He disappeared.
I have, let's see. All right. And then
I have a birth in the family. It's a boy.
That doesn't make sense. One of my, my grandmother, who is dead, is impoverished and in debt. So I think we choose someone else.
But that's just a scandalous rumor, right?
Yeah.
That scandalous rumor means that's not true.
Okay, gotcha.
You have to roll.
I'm sorry. Then hang on. I did that incorrectly. So I got a 4. So that's a marriage in the family. And an 18 is again my grandmother.
No. So you only roll on scandalous rumor if you get scandalous rumor on family events.
Oh, okay, I see.
So you have to get a 19 or 20, then you have to get a 20, and then the next rumor you roll is true.
I see. Okay.
Scandalous rumors aren't true. They're just things people talk shit about you.
Yeah.
Okay. So there were no scandalous rumors about you. Instead, there was, did you say a marriage?
Marriage in the family, yeah.
Very well. As usual, you may pick that one. And while you are ruminating over that, noble knights, think instead also upon training and practice. 1d6 plus 1 in skills, gain 1 point to a maximum of 20, or improve a attribute, trait, or passion on page 133.
I'm going to take a loyalty to the Lord, because a lot of what we did today this year was all about service to our Lord.
Which one though, Roderick or?
We don't have loyalty to the King yet.
You don't have loyalty to Pendragon yet? Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
And service to our Lord. That sounds like a really good Burning Wheel show name.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's some sort of super genius.
Look it up on YouTube, maybe.
Right? Yeah. I mean, what a great way. Have you actually seen that show, James?
Yeah.
Interesting. I wish we had gotten around to finishing it, but it is what it is.
I only have one uncle who is married, so Krieg is going to have another kid.
I'm gonna do some skill training and practice. I rolled a 3, which that's our number when we roll for skills.
Do one of you have the 1D1000 open?
I can.
Otherwise, I can open it.
I've got it bookmarked here.
Thank you.
130 is Bronwyn.
Bronwyn.
You're going to have to come up with a title for Bronwyn, because we already have Bronwyn the Tan.
Yep.
Bronwyn the Pale.
Bronwyn the Younger. Oh, God, Bronwyn the Pale. Young Bronwyn the Older. Ah.
Bronwyn the Blue.
Oh, very well.
He was born with the umbilical cord around his neck.
So I rolled a 4, so I'm just raising my mace to a 15.
This guy and his mace. He's always playing with his mace.
When you talk about England, we should have a Prime Minister named Pitt the Older and a Prime Minister named Pitt the Younger.
What are you picking, Glimo? I don't know why I'm pronouncing your name like that either. I'm losing it today.
That is a good question. So my options
are attribute, trait, or passion up by 1, or D6 plus 1 to be distributed amongst your skills.
I'm going to do the D6 plus 1.
Or gain 1 point in a skill up to 20.
Yes, that is also true. That is also
improving sword, for instance.
Yeah, for like if I wanted my sword to go up, I would have to put
from 15 to 16. You would have
to
16
to 17. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, wait a minute. Well,
so the 1d6 plus 1 skills is capped at 15.
Yeah, correct.
I don't suppose we're going to get another 200 glory.
Probably not this year.
Over and above what we've talked about.
Doubt it, but it could happen. I don't think you did a lot this year. There haven't been any murders.
I mean, let me not spoilers, but next year it could be pretty big for us.
Well, I mean, I meant right now.
Oh no, we're not going to get another 200 glory right now.
I've got 80 in my.
That's what you've got is basically almost everything you're going to get.
Yeah.
So Gwgan's now the age that Wayne was when he died. So hopefully next year's not too big a year.
Maybe we shouldn't go.
So I was thinking about do I want to give myself more skills, or do I want to give myself another point of, I can't give myself size, but I could give myself back a point of con, which I lost.
Yeah.
Although con only gives you hit points.
Correct. Yeah. Strength and size is your damage.
Yeah.
I will say.
It also affects your major wound level and your healing rate.
Yeah.
And your unconscious level.
I will say, Glimo, that once we hit 35, we can no longer improve attributes. You can still improve skills. So that's kind of
you can still improve them with 1,000 glory mark, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But like,
listen, once you hit 35, your life's basically over.
I don't. Is your sword 15 yet?
No.
I would. Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do. But
yeah, I mean, I fully acknowledge that I did not understand the system and built my character with the absolutely wrong skill loadout.
That's okay.
At the beginning.
That's just kind of happens.
You know,
Look, at some point you'll die and you'll have a much better
I spent the first 3 years
exactly.
like just upping skills to try and make the character useful. And I'm trying to decide, do I keep trying to do that or do I...
one of the things that I like to do...
If I die, I die. I'm gonna go skills.
One of the things that I like to do is I like to time my attribute increases. Nice. That's a good number. Is I like to time my attribute increases to go along with the glory point, so that you can double up and like really get some good gains on an attribute.
You hear rumors about a particularly self-important man from a French village who's now roughly the size of a barge after eating 5 dozen eggs every day. People are deeply worried about him.
Yeah, 2 in awareness, 2 in intrigue, and 2 in sword.
There is a feast card that's like a knight challenges you to an eating contest, and if you win, you can increase your size at the end of the year.
Oh, well, let's talk about glory. I believe I've walked all of you through the glories that you have achieved throughout the year, asking you to write them down. You will also receive your glory from traits and passions of 16 plus. Your manses will earn you the glory. I mean, you're all getting whatever rich living is, right? You've all chosen to spend.
Yeah, because anything you spend above and beyond what you earned is conspicuous consumption. So 3, 6, or 9 spent.
And you always get whatever the mansion gives you. So, you all end up with what, 12 glory from your mansions?
10.
Well, Gwgan and I get. Yeah, but we also get the income from our additional domain.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, but you don't get glory for that unless you spend it.
Right.
Yes, you have to spend that.
Well, the conspicuous consumption, yes, but we do get the land glory for basically the income of all of the land.
That's true.
But it doesn't double unless we spend it.
Right, I am now at 1812.
So that would give me 128 total for the year. Does that tie with about what you guys are at?
Yeah, I think this was 487, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I got more because I got married.
Yeah.
Yeah, 300. So.
Wow, congratulations. I hope it was a nice event.
All right. So that'll bring me to 1887.
Catching up on you, Glimo.
Are you still the shitlord?
Yeah, I'm still 1812.
I meant Spoon, if he's still the shitlord.
This takes me, so I got roughly about 100, so I'm at 2551. So I think I'm still in the lead.
Holy crap, James! How are you that close to me? What am I doing wrong?
It's thanks to being Christian, it's easy to get the chivalry bonus.
Yeah,
very hard
a lot
for
of
pagans
it
to get it.
overlaps with things knights are going to get. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have the full chivalry bonus?
I do, yeah.
How close are you to the Christian value bonus?
Nowhere near.
Okay, didn't think so. I thought that would be.
The religious
like
bonus
six stats over 16.
Yeah, the religious bonus is extremely difficult to get, but it gives you plus a 3 armor bonus.
No, that's chivalry gives you that.
Oh, does it?
Chivalry gives you 100 glory and 3 armor. Religious bonus it depends on the religion.
Okay.
Sorry, so you need 80 in the starred things to get chivalry
80,
bonus?
Yeah, 80 or more total.
Well, friends, I know that you love spreadsheets, and we'll have fewer spreadsheets when we return for the third of this show, where we enter the year 488. I just want to say thank you for all your thoughts and prayers for Gropsis. He has made it through his crisis, and we look forward to seeing him retire forever. Oh, what's that? Is that an idle screen? Incredible. We've made it to the final part. Welcome to the year 488. Court is held in Windsor Castle this year. Your passage to the court requires you to pass through Levkamagus and indeed through Silchester itself. Anything any of you want to do while you're passing through those lands? Any plots you wish to put into play before the Pentecost?
I definitely would do anything I could spycraft-wise to see what is passing as we pass through Silchester.
Interesting. Make an intrigue roll.
Can I add Suspicious Silchester?
Yes. Yes, you can. Your hatred blinds you to the world around you, but yes.
13 out of 17.
Perhaps the thing that interests you most as you go through Levkamagus is the number of knights, and I'm going to call them specialty professionals. People who are not field worker peasants, but nor are they merchants, clergy, or lords. People who are specialists at falconry and hunting. Good bowmen, trackers, survivalists. You see many of them along the path leading small groups. And whenever you stop in Levkamagus or Silchester or at any castle or estate along the way, you see that there are many more than you would have expected in any other land. All of them carry a book of some kind, like a hunting log.
Should we ask around about this, or
any chance that we might take possession of one of these books?
You're going to steal a book?
I'm not. I only have a...
I mean, you're a knight. They're a peasant. If you want to just demand the book from them, you certainly can.
Yes.
Very well, Herawd. Please lower your honor by 1, as you are seen quarreling with a peasant, taking one of his possessions in the process. However, the man backs down very quickly after he's aware that you have 3.5 foot of steel of sword on you, and he does not.
Sorry, you said I lower my honor by 1?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
throughout the land, it will be said that Herawd's so in need of paper for use on his toilet that he decided to steal some from a peasant.
Yes, throughout the land.
This is technically a crime, and the Duke. Don't look at me like that. This is someone's possession. Yes, this is a possession of someone that doesn't belong to you. The people, these are not your lands, these are not your people, and it's not your book. It's a crime to take somebody else's stuff. That's okay. Listen,
hey,
I've said serfs are like slaves, and you know what? People have talked about their right to own possessions, and guess what? You just took one of their possessions. This is one of their few. Beware of Tux? Is that what that says?
The crew of Tux, but it's my toilet seat.
Oh my god! All right.
Since you said that I was,
yeah.
So AP, I know that this is so. Probably once everyone else has left, I will try and at least give the peasants some denarii to compensate him for his loss.
Sure.
I give him like 10 denarii, half a shilling. Does that seem fair?
Such will not recover Herawd's honor, but it will certainly
but
some way to...
Justice is my highest trait, though. So.
Yes, of course. You know what? Go ahead and make a justice roll here.
Yeah.
This is your famous trait?
It is, yes.
We are...
I am just.
He makes no appeals to you to get the book back. He says, I thank you, sir, for your donation towards... having my goods stolen. All I can ask is that if you see my master, Sir Blaine's, you pass along this incident. Though I suspect with your traveling companions, you may be Knights of Salisbury.
That's correct, but that doesn't mean that I won't pass on what you've asked me to pass on.
He looks at you sadly as if he doesn't believe you. He lives in the age of Uther.
All right.
It's in the book.
You open the book. The book
it's a cipher.
I don't know that you have any skills to decipher the book. Let me double check. And while that's happening, let me add loading screen GM tip. You can take a defensive action at any time during combat, and it will not impede your honor. Make a hunting roll.
Oh, I can't make that.
Well, you can make it.
It's just unlikely.
As long as your hunting isn't the 0, you don't. There is definitely something odd about the writing here. First off, the handwriting is frankly terrible. There is a very complete daily log indicating passage through time, essentially. Like, it's not a hunting log like, we hunted this week and we caught 3 things. Instead, it's like, today we found this, today we found this, today we found this. These guys must be extremely good at hunting, is all I'll say. There are a huge number of entries.
So, Kendric, you're a much better hunter than I am. Does this seem strange to you? And he shows the book to Kendric.
Boy, these gentlemen are hunting quite a bit. Blaine's forest must be empty.
Now, Kendric, I need you to make a falconry roll.
Falconry? Can I add my suspicious of Silchester?
You know what? Absolutely. You're really reaching on that one, but I'll allow it.
I mean,
does the fact the hawk is helping you with surgery right now really stretch reality?
Can I help him with the?
I'll let you make the roll instead. Yeah. since the two of you are working together, I will, if you want to cede it back to Herawd.
Sure. And so me as the player thinks that this is not a hunting log at all. It is a log of the Border Knight's movements.
The two of you are noticing that rather than talking a lot about deer and such, there is a lot of talk about merlins, peregrines, and gossics. And in the coding of falconry, one is given a bird of their station. For instance, if you are a knight, the largest bird you are supposed to take, the deadliest bird, is a gossic. Ladies carry merlins, and earls exclusively use peregrine falcons. You are looking at this book, and you believe that it is a tracking of birds that aren't one of those birds are just given any old moniker, right? Like sparrow, blue jay. I'm sorry, Great Britain, I don't know the native birds of your island in the year 488, but you get the idea, right? Like, when you believe that this is encoded so that when a commoner or a guard of some kind goes past, they write down a random bird. And when a knight goes past, or a lady, their movements are tracked. And you're recalling that Blaines's hunting lodge across from the Pitton lands had a log that you ignored that had some very specific terminology that also seemed to represent this. So you believe there may be a plot by these special hunters that are not in fact hunters at all. They're people who are watching the roads quite carefully.
So it is a logbook of movements.
It does seem so.
But just so I understand, probably there's nothing illegal that's happened here, has it? Like, this is just
the only illegal thing was that a knight seized a man's book.
Yeah.
This is not illegal. It is, however, a little
extremely
psychopathic.
suspicious.
Yeah, you could show it to Roderick to say that they're doing this. You couldn't take the king and say string up to Duke Ulfius for sedition. No.
You don't even know if this plot goes as high as Ulfius. You couldn't prove that based on this book.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be flat with you. Uther might be delighted to hear that his knights are battling each other in this way, as far as you know. He is somewhat arbitrary in his judgments. However, you are looking at the grave face of a plot many years in the making that has previously eluded you through your good work. So both of you can write that you are taking 10 glory.
Okay.
But you don't get it till the end of the year.
Yeah.
The fact that you've gotten this will invariably get back to Ulfius, or to Blaine at least. Yeah.
Sir Blaines will remember this.
So they won't continue to use this methodology once it's no longer secure.
Here comes Jay with his security training. Now that our code's been cracked, we have to switch.
Yeah, new frequency.
Fourth wheel.
Well, shall we carry along the road to court?
Indeed.
I believe we've learned all we can possibly learn.
I'm going to ask all of you to make a fashion roll on your arrival. A fit check, as it was.
We can't, because it's a skill you can't take as a knight, so 0.
It's a non-knightly skill, and none of you have it?
Yeah.
Very well.
Although, since we all live superlatively, are our clothes...
Yeah, you get new clothes every year.
Yeah, but... Sorry, I don't have that book, so... But living superlatively, doesn't that mean our clothes are worth more money?
Yeah.
It increases your appearance by 2 as well, for the purposes of... Yeah.
I'm still going to ask all of you for a fit check. What are you all looking like when you show up in court this year?
Say fit check.
It's oh, James.
It's slang, James.
It's a Gen Z thing for sure.
Yeah.
It's just it's like asking you, hey, what are you wearing to the party?
Okay, no worries.
So that picture that I posted of me a couple of weeks ago on the Mardi Gras float, that's absolutely what
that's a
is.
fit check.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Sir Kendric is a little bit more or a little bit less outlandish, maybe. And he has gone for like matching clothes with his wife.
Conversely, I think that because Gwgan tries to maintain a sense of modesty, he doesn't dress the way he's been living. But if he brings his wife to court, then certainly she is dressed to the nines because she is being allowed to live superlatively like he is paid for. But for him, he believes in the Lord was poor. He was a carpenter. So
how Christian of you?
Very pious.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Your wife, whose name and status and her skills we do not know.
Well, she also came from a rich family, so she probably expects the best.
Expects the finest. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
No wooden shoes on her feet.
No.
I mean, maybe if she was Dutch, it would be a long transit.
Yeah.
This time period. You find yourself among the following company: Prince Matic, Praetor Siagrius of the Roman Empire, the entire British army, Matic, I mentioned him already, Duke Brastius, and of course the king. Roderick is also in attendance. What do you want to do here at the court at Winchester? I think I said Windsor earlier, and that was wrong. It's Winchester.
I will go speak with Prince Matic.
Very well.
My Lord Prince.
You seem to be making your way to the front of the line even faster than normal.
Just eager to speak with you, my lord.
Half of all knights and half of all of the army's foot troops are mustered by order of the king. They are to assemble at the ports of Hanton and Chichester with provisions for a 40-day campaign. They are to accompany me to France. King Uther, with pressing business of the realm, will keep the other half here with the army of Britain. Perhaps I shall see you in France?
I look forward to it, my prince. It will be an honor to ride at your side.
Yes. He dismisses you.
And, Kendrick will bow and
he doesn't say like it would be an honor to ride at your side. He's a prince.
No, of course.
Is Sir Blaine's in court?
Sir Blaine's in court. I'm gonna say yes. I also said Duke Brastius, but it's Sir Brastius.
Sir Brastius, you're Duke Ulvius. Yeah.
Yes.
I will approach Blaine's.
All right. You approach Sir Blaine's. He is surrounded by a cadre of Silchesterian knights and swordsmen. He dismisses all of them as he says, Sir Gwgan.
Yes, we haven't met. I think you met my cousin, though, the other year he died.
Yeah, your cousin is one thing or another. You've taken up a position within the Order of the Axe.
Yes, and that's the reason I came to see you. I made an oath to one of your small folk to inform you that we took from him a book.
What kind of book?
I didn't read it myself. I believe some sort of hunting book.
You've taken a hunting log. Why did you take this book?
I don't know the reasons why we have it. I simply know that we took it from the man. I attempted to compensate him, and he asked only that you be informed that he did not give up the book willingly.
And among your number, which one is the one who took the book? Because the way you're saying sounds so sanitized.
Well, are we not one? If we are a cadre.
I see. So you are taking responsibility on behalf of your cadre, then?
Yes, we are of one mind and one action. But it is on my honor to pass on what was said to me.
Of course. So when you say you're in one mind and one action, then you do know why the book was taken, then? Otherwise, why would someone arbitrarily simply take one of my people's books?
I didn't review it myself, so I don't know its contents.
Who did review it?
Timothy 5:13 tells us it's not proper to speak of things best not mentioning. Such things would be gossip for a depraved mind.
Gossip. Yes, I see. So you would quote scripture to me a breath away from admitting that you have stolen from me. That is curious indeed. But they say the Lord works in mysterious ways and that he forgives trespasses against us and him. I sincerely hope, Sir Gwgan, that you and your band of knights is truly repentant for your actions. I really just... All I can say is that I am disappointed that the three of you would tarnish your honor to steal a book that you have no idea why you've taken it.
I too share disappointment, but it doesn't change the facts.
What a superbly vague statement on your behalf. I appreciate your forthrightness and honesty in delivering this news to me.
I thank you for your candor and apologize again for the trespass. And I would like to do that sort of I'm leaving now bow.
As you're walking away, he says, perhaps you should consult the parts of the Bible about the wisdom of Solomon or King David. You may find there what happens to thieves and to the unwise.
Solomon certainly teaches us what happens to those who use power for their own gain.
Sheesh. There's no quote scripture, but you know what? Go ahead and give yourself a check in oratory. I'm gonna give that one to you. That's a gift. Oh, it's amazing that you think you got him, Spoon, when in fact Herawd has taken an honor hit, which is so bad. Like, it's truly awful.
Yeah.
It is incredibly difficult to recover and has essentially lowered him immensely in society, where almost everyone else has equally good honor. Yeah. That.
I just want to I want to clip Arthur saying that and replay it this year in this year's winter phase when Glimo was like, I'll take a point in honor with my training point.
You should get it. Herawd, what are you doing?
Is Sir Jaredon here?
No, Sir Jaredon is not at court. As you may recall, he is being left home in Salisbury to heal while in secret beginning his training as like
I wasn't sure
villages.
if we were still keeping up with that, or if he was.
Oh yes, it will be some time before he heals. He took a shoulder wound in the pre-medieval ages. Okay. It's bad.
Then I think my wife and I are going to see what rumors and intelligence we can
make an intrigue roll.
Find.
I'm going to tell you before you even make your intrigue, you are a topic of discussion here. Not among small folk, but among knights. There are discussions, perhaps not by name, but of a Salisbury knight who was so set on stealing a book from the small folk. You've essentially disgraced the entire Salisbury knighthood.
Oh, wow. So I take it that means I do not get any bonuses to this.
No, but you do get to make intrigue.
The
intrigues of the times here, my friend. Uther is uncertain about his vassals, and specifically Duke Gorlo of the Southwest. Furthermore, if there is an attack by Saxons while the British army is split on the Frankish mainland, on the continent, it could be devastating. As you already know, through your quarrels with Sir Blaines, there is always the threat of another Englishman upsetting the current balance of power. And with Gorlo's continued absence, and you really just, no one has gotten any news out of him. No one travels to his lands, and no one travels out of his lands. So no one's sure what's going on down there. They have their own ports, their own logistics system. There is a concern, quietly, among Uther's highest court members, as you listen in, that should the army split while Maddock is on the continent, Gorlo can simply start claiming lands as far as perhaps Somerset or even Salisbury in a lightning raid while the army is looking for Saxons. There is also rumors that there is a Saxon army in the north, and that even King Lot is avoiding battle as the Saxons continue to raid and raid.
Excellent.
That brings us back around. Not that there's any real order here, but if someone has something they want to go do.
Does anyone want to speak to Uther about our travels in the north last winter?
You left him a letter.
Yeah, I said that message has been delivered.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not a bad idea.
Perhaps someone with better standing than I, since it seems that I might be out of favor at the moment.
You're just the flavor of the month, buddy.
Yeah.
Kendric, you may be better suited for this if you wanted to.
Yeah, I will go
speak with the king and see if there's.
I'll go see if I can get up to Uther.
Okay. You go to speak with Uther. He looks like he's ready to deliver you one of his court's famous pre-canned NPC background text lines, but instead he stops and says, "The singer."
Yes, my king.
I sent you north to Ibaracum.
That is correct, my king.
I understand things didn't work out very well up there.
The Centurion King was not at all pleased to see us.
What do you make of their situation?
They seem to be up to their eyeballs in Saxons, my king. Whether that is due to the fact that the Saxons are a numerous people, or perhaps the lacking of their king.
Do you suspect their king of?
Well, I do not know. I do not doubt his sword arm, only his wisdom. We offered him our swords, and he refused them. I would think that someone in such a situation as he would take any help that he could get. I believe he is a proud man.
Perhaps it would be unusual for mine own ambassadors to serve in his army. If something happened to you, it would reflect poorly on me. I appreciate your frankness and honesty, and also that you should reach out on my behalf. I understand why he has turned down this opportunity to have you serve, but he just coughs into his wine cup. It's real bad.
Yeah.
It's real dead. It's this Denethor behavior for sure. Is there something I can do for you, Kendric?
Well, my king, since you asked, I was wondering perhaps there have been a lot of travels along the roads through Salisbury and Silchester and the like. A lot of merchants traveling back and forth between cities, and I was wondering if perhaps you would authorize a toll on the road through Pitton.
There's no toll on the road through Pitton that I am not aware of. Only...
yes, my king. That is, I'm wondering if you would authorize a new toll on the road through Pitton. Very well.
Should I be?
It was just a thought, my lord. There is much travel back and forth between the countryside and cities. I was just thinking perhaps that the crown could take advantage of it, and
there are not many knights
to collect these tolls.
Haha, there it is. There are not many knights who would tax their inhabitants and also those passing through their lands so willingly to put coins in my coffers, but you would like to collect these tolls. I see. Make an intrigue check.
Sure. Without suspicious Silchester, this isn't a great skill for me.
And you probably shouldn't be plotting.
I'm not plotting. I'm literally just asking to basically have a new. I'm asking him to open a new stream of income both for him and for me.
Yes, he says what you ask for is, I will speak with your earl. Oh, what's that line from Star Wars? We will view your career with great interest, Sir Kendric.
Thank you, my king.
Indeed. You could see his court is like, who the fuck is this guy to just come up and propose a new toll and that you should collect it?
He literally said, is there anything I can do for you, Sir Knight? And I went, well, if you don't ask, you'll never know.
You shot your shot, and as a streamer who tries to invite people on a show, I really appreciate that. But also, this situation ended pretty much how most of my invitations ended. The fact he said anything back to you at all was a real positive.
Yeah, it's thank you, but not interested.
Oh my God, James! In chat, he said it just seemed like something a smart High King would do. So passive aggressive. This James is really good at managing up, guys. Look, I had this idea, but I'm just saying, if you take this idea from me, no one would look at it twice.
That's right. I mean, only an idiot wouldn't do this. You're an idiot, are
you? Wow. Okay, so sales has showed up as well. All right.
And I think, unless King Luther has something further for me, I will.
He certainly does not. Not after that. No. Yeah. We will continue this next time, I should think, but we will start with a gathering as the Earl calls his knights to him. He has plots himself to advance. Friends, remember, in the comment section, let us know. Yes to dice rolls. No to dice rolls. Don't care about dice rolls. We got no. These dice, they're being rolled. Regardless of what your answer is, they will continue to be rolled as long as the show continues. I love dice rolls.
Hey. We got votes for dice rolls. Get in the comments, folks.
We already knew. Okay, first off, you're Brennan Lee Mulliganing me after I Brennan Lee Mulliganed you guys like 5 times tonight,
yeah,
including the house.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about this episode? Lots of things happened. Some of them went very well, like intercepting the log. Others went very badly, like taking a massive honor hit.
For intercepting the log, yeah. Yeah, I think it's
I still have a 14. It's not like
back to 15 next.
Went below the bubble.
Yeah.
Well, look, there's a price to be paid, but to be honest, it's worth this.
For sure. Well, now we know. I mean, now we have concrete evidence that, at least for us, that Blaine's is plotting against us.
Yeah. In the future, Pace want to go steal it from them.
I mean, Gwgan sold me out, and that sucked, but...
Oh, man.
But I don't think Herawd knows that, so, he won't hold it against Gwgan.
He kept your name out of his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Gwgan did say that Blaine's would find out.
That's true. That's true. He did say that. But no, it was a good episode.
And I didn't roll like shit this time, so
starting to make some gains there, bud.
That was a surprise.
Better character, stronger statted wife. I mean, an heir, a male heir. We can do female heirs, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I have a female heir. Well, not Gwgan, but
Order of the Rose. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, maybe next session we could start off with like a scene to quickly introduce who Gwgan's wife is.
Yeah. You'll know when I do. Wives are such important characters. I really felt like I didn't do a good job of introducing Herawd's wife, and I don't want to make that mistake again. We had to learn more about her as time went on, and you're really
Halfren's stewardship is up to 5. I mean, that's like amazing.
I hate to say it like this, but you're not going to get married that often. It really is a real once in a lifetime event, and you shouldn't die that often. Owain accepting.
Yeah. Look, every time you have children, there's a 10% chance your wife dies.
That's true, but we also included a rule where rather than have that happen, you can instead do a re-roll and age.
Yeah.
Because we want to have less wife death and child death and more everybody's old, and I know about more everybody's old for sure.
And then we have to decide what we're going to do next year, because we have options.
It's true. You will have options. Mr. Spoiler over here knows.
I'll go with you to France this time, Spoon.
You don't want to be on a boat? I guess either way you're going on a boat, but
hey, I actually put points into boating.
You're gonna need it.
Not that many, but I did put some.
I mean, your land is famous for boating, right?
Yeah, that's your family trade, I believe, right?
Good with boats.
I thought so.
Because
mine was swimming.
I didn't know we had family traits.
Yeah, when you rolled up your character, so all of your family shall all be blessed with your boating prowess.
All the men.
All of the men shall all be equally good at boats. They're gonna make a show about you one day called "The Men Who Stare at Boats."
I'm gonna have to like
on the holdings
Roll20 and see if I like took this
on the holdings page of your character sheet. That's where the family characteristic goes.
I have nothing in the holdings.
Well, an easily solvable problem.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it in the downtime, and you can tell me what I did wrong.
Let me say this, friends. You may enjoy watching Pendragon, but let me also mention, what if you watched more Pendragon? Because Ticking Time Bomb always has I believe they're calling it the Arthuriana universe, which I guessed it on several times.
It's like the MCU?
Kinda, yeah.
I definitely didn't say that, and they call it Arthuriana over there. That's what I'm going to say.
He's basically he's running several shows in the same Pendragon game, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts before we end out the night?
Good game. Thank you very much, Arthur, and everybody else involved.
Thank you.
Thank all of you, because I couldn't do it without you, literally. It would just be me talking, and that's called writing a book.
And that AP is why we're such good acquaintances.
So deeply hurtful. Incredibly deeply hurtful.
Cuts to the quick.
Okay. We'll be back next week. Goodbye.
We're
coming back.
We're good.
Glimo didn't know about introductions. He thought we okay. Let's do it.
I just thought we were poking at each other because that seemed like all we were doing.
I asked if anyone had anything else to say. I feel like I couldn't have been more specific.
I think AP, you need to get an outro hour off the ground as well.
Oh my god. I couldn't even make intro hour this week. I'm not going to make another news show. It was amazing, though, that Rad was like, well, this is the only intro hour I could have ever made in my whole life.
I reckon he's so regardless.
Yeah. What a troll.
He was Johnny on the spot.
Yep.
Glimo, let's do your introduction. We're here. We're still here for you.
Oh, I'm Glimo. I'm mostly over COVID. I'm back from Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras was awesome as usual. I'm going to be starting up the crafting hour again in the next couple weeks. So keep an eye on twitch.tv/Glimo. I'm going to be doing some scale mail projects if that is interesting to you. And, if you're watching Pendragon, it very well might be. Also, I found a box that I think is 20 plus years old in my house, and there was a camera in it, a 35 millimeter camera that I actually had to get a battery for in order to rewind the film that was in it. I have no idea if there's actually any pictures on it. So, stay tuned. Maybe in a future outro hour, if there's any actual photos on this, I'll share them.
Super 8 Part 2.
My son went to school camp recently, and they were told to bring a disposable camera. I'm like, who the hell has a disposable camera anymore? And where do you even get the film processed now?
Yeah, right.
So in the U.S., that we have two major drugstore chains that still will handle 35 millimeter film.
Wow.
Not everybody uses their phones. Not everyone has a phone.
CVS and Walgreens will still handle 35 millimeter film.
Really?
In addition to a bunch of mail order companies and specialty camera shops. But yeah, CVS and Walgreens, every CVS and Walgreens will still handle 35 millimeter film.
I have worked in a photo lab, and I can confirm that people do drop interesting pictures off to photo labs.
Yes.
Wow, what a incredibly specific non-specificity you've added to that, James. Anyone else have an introduction they want to throw down?
I'm good.
James?
No, I am also very over COVID.
That's good.
I wish I could be over COVID, but it just keeps happening everywhere all the time.
When I told my boss I had COVID, he's like, "Is that still a thing?"
Oh God!
Yes, it is.
Wow, incredible! Look at that. The end of the episode's approaching so quickly.